Camera out shot. Could you just tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name's Sean Paul Day. I'm a London licensed taxi driver, and I'm here today to support the demonstration.
So, what is the main point of this demonstration?
Well, the main point is you have got a corporation that's based in San Francisco come into our country. They've dictated policy to Transport for London and central government, and we have had no say in it. They do consultations, but they refuse to negotiate. Now, 3 years we've been trying to negotiate with Transport for London, and they won't have anything to do with it. Now, the Mayor delivered his private hire proposals last week. To the erosion of our industry, they are being dictated to by a multi-conglomerate with $64 billion, and that seems to be kind of, it seems to have the consensus across the board, and no one else has a say. This is the only way we can kind of affect any change, is by disrupting, well, be more disruptive than the disruptors, because they are just not listening.
And obviously you'll be aware of the last couple of days of Uber offering the app for 12 months. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I mean, I would preempt it anyway, is that is spin by Uber. They knew this was happening, so they come on television and they come into the media and act very reasonable, saying, we love black cabs, we want them to be part of our platform. No, they do not. They want to annihilate the local taxi trade, so they have market domination. That's what they're going for, market domination. They undercut. They are subsidised by the banking industry, Goldman Sachs, and so they can undercut the black cab trade. They really would like to see us gone. And that's why they ask us to come onto their platform, so they could charge the 25% they charge their drivers, who at the moment are reported to earn below the minimum wage, and they're claiming tax credits. So effectively, our government are subsidising a $64 billion corporation. What happens is they have a marketing platform. They spend $1 billion a year on marketing. They spend another $1 billion a year to not be regulated. The licensed taxi trade in London are sole traders and are not afforded a marketing platform. They've come in, they've hijacked it. TfL are afraid of them because they would be embarrassed. And central government has got involved and said, leave Uber alone. There is something covert about central government's involvement in London's policy.
About the future relationship.
Yeah, so obviously we can see why you guys have protested today. What would you be satisfied with eventually? What do you hope to eventually, obviously you'd hope eventually you could come to a conclusion with Uber, something satisfying. Yeah. What would that be? Look, for you?
We've got no problem with competition. You know, they always say it's about we're being protectionist. Now, you can't write that off. If I come into your house and I said I'm having this room and I'm not paying you any rent, you'll say no, I'm not having that. They have just come in, they've infracted on the instant hire market, they're in contraventions of all the private hire, they're in contravention of all the private hire regulations, and yet the mayor and the government has kowtowed to them, and all the proposals that has gone in their favour and not ours, the incumbent local trade. That's what's happened. Now, they can be here, but they should abide by the prevailing legislation. They do not meet the conditions of fitness, neither the vehicle or the driver does not meet the criteria to work on the instant hire market. Now, people turn around to me and say about consumer choice. Isn't it about consumer choice? Shouldn't they have the choice of a black taxi? Shouldn't they have the choice of Uber? We'll talk about choice, because it has far more to do with self-entitlement, because Uber do not account for the choice of the disabled. They do not account for the choice of those who have hearing impairment. They do not account for the choice of those who are sight impaired, because it's at the discretion of the driver if they take assistance dogs. And most of all, they do not account for anyone who doesn't have a credit card or who doesn't have a smartphone. It is a discriminatory system, and it is about data collection and getting you accountable on a database, so that they can use that in order for marketing purposes, in order to infract heavily on other businesses.
Right. And in terms of what was I going to say? In terms of as long as they're not subject to increased regulation, what do you see? Do you see further protests taking place?
But, yeah, absolutely. I would say this is going to escalate because Leon Daniels, and this is significant, Leon Daniels and Garrett Emerson that have facilitated Uber coming here and operating, they've bent over backwards to accommodate Uber. They've done nothing for our industry. We've had apps since before Uber come, and yet they spin it as though we are the ones who are Luddites, you know. But let's talk about the free market. They have come in, and this adoration that they seem to have for the free market isn't a free market at all. It is a systematic attempted takeover of a regulated trade. We are still regulated to the bone. They aren't regulated at all. There is no barrier to entry. And I know those in favour of a free market always say the regulated trade go on about safety. Well, if we talk about safety, since November through till now, there has been 6 Uber drivers convicted of sexual assault. That's unprecedented. Any other company running a private hire operator would have had their license revoked. The government ignores them. They're allowed to do what they want. They control the government. It's just they are not going to come in and run roughshod and lower our standards to theirs. They want us to have no standards. They want us to be down there. We have very high, there's nothing wrong with the stringent licensing process, and all their drivers can also be a cab driver. They just have to study the knowledge and go through the same vetting processes that we have to go through. What's significant when they say they have the same vetting processes as we? Firstly, if they've been in the country for less than 3 years, you're not subjected to the same comprehensive police check as everybody else. They can't be. There's a lot of countries that are exempt. There are also refugees. If you're a refugee in the country, by law, they are not obliged to give you a CRB check, a criminal records check. So they are not subjected to the same vetting processes as we are. And also, there are no checks to see that they have valid and appropriate insurance. If their insurance runs out, they're not deactivated from the platform. The insurance just carries on. They don't. They can carry on. So there's insurance discrepancies. They work in a grey area. They want total market domination, and then they will be able to charge what they like. They want the consumer not to have a choice between those who work with the sat-nav and the professional taxi service in London.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time.
Are you happy? It started off a bit ropey.
No, yeah, it's brilliant.
Really good information.
Because there is corruption, central government. You've got Rachel Whetstone, the Vice President of Uber. She's godmother of David Cameron. It's corrupt.
They're all interlinked, aren't they? Really?
It's just fucking, I tell you.
Yeah.
All them at the bottom, they want them at the bottom. Suffer. What will it go out on? Can you take my email or my Twitter? Twitter would be better. Oh, sorry, dude.
I'll take your email down.
Alright. Please, yeah. Take my number as well, so if you want to do an further interview, because we've got to draw attention. We've avoided saying no because it's always got spun about it. But now we're going to say no. We've got to.
Do you want to put your
Hello, everybody. Hello, drivers. I come from Paris.
Take this out.
Just a minute, please. I move it. Okay. Just a second.
Don't call me because I won't answer an anonymous phone number. I know it's somebody after money.
Sorry, what was your name, sir?
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah,
Sean.
Day.
Day.
So, I'm Sean Paul Day. You'll come across.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Let me know when it's out.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Should we like follow him up there?
Yeah, I think we should.
Do you wanna like?
I think we could.
Do we need the mic in? Do you reckon, or?
No, it's better than that. I think mics are really good for interviews and pieces of camera because I think the actual quality of the sound that you pick up with the
Yeah.
mics are actually better.
I wanted the guy with the flag. See the one who had Unite on his.
The French guy.
No, there's a guy walking down while you were doing the interview, but it was like behind you, had like a big flag and everything.
Well, we've got 2 interviews now. Very obviously very impressive.
That, the second guy we just did there, because he had like a lanyard and stuff on, I think we can flag that he was like a union
I
member.
agree, yeah.
We are demonstrating
I was loving that lanyard.
Say he's like head.
before the lanyard.
Yeah.
We are united. One thing that unites us is a bird around our neck.